Hi, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. At least it is today on the day I'm filming. By the time you see this, it will have passed, and I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving with your family and friends if you celebrate. We are out in the barn today getting things cleaned up because even though it's a holiday, the barn never sleeps and it always has to be done. It doesn't matter that it's a holiday. So we're out helping staff that is here and getting this done so that we all can go and enjoy our family time. We have my wheelbarrow, I have my pitchfork and my broom and my dustpan, and I'll take you along as I clean stalls. I'm going to start in Millie's stall, which in our previous video I introduced you to my horses. And so one of the things I consider a stall clean is when we have it mucked out and then the hay bags get filled and put back in for them and the water buckets are cleaned and done. So that's where I have consider that done. And then as you clean out horses' stalls, one of the things that you will become familiar is they have a pattern of how they use their stall. So if you do it enough, you can get faster at it because you'll know where they go to the bathroom, and they kind of pick that as their normal spot. Millie's great because she goes in one spot. So she's one of the ones everyone likes to do because it's easy. I do try to take out the hay that they leave in. They don't usually eat that when they've left it because they've stomped all over it, and so I just throw it out. There's probably a lot of people watching cringing at that, but we just know there's going to be wasted hay. And everybody has their own particular way of cleaning stalls. There's some people will bank it up on the sides and bang it against the wall to similar like this. If you throw it against the wall, the poop falls to the bottom, and then you can just pick the poop out. It really saves a lot of your shavings. I've seen the method where they pile it in the middle and then drop everything on top of it, and then when they do that, the stuff falls to the pile to the side of it, and then that's easy to pick up. So it's one of those things, you just have one of your own methods when you start doing cleaning stalls. Usually the rule of thumb is maybe 10 minutes a stall, I guess. I sometimes take a little longer because I'm picky and really want to get it all out. So I sift through, take my time. I'm usually not in a big hurry when I'm doing stalls because I usually only do it when I have the time. So sometimes you wonder, though, for little horses, how they can make so much, they can poop so much. If somebody can explain to me how they poop on the top of the shavings and yet it gets buried down in the bottom somehow. I don't understand that. How does that happen? You can have a fresh thing of shavings and then it's like, here's the poop on the top and then it's way down here in the shavings. I don't know. Some science I don't know or understand. No, look at that. And then like this, you move that and there's poop under there. Like, how did it get under there? Did she just pile it under there? I don't know. The things you think about when you are cleaning stalls. And that's another thing. It is a lot of work. but it can be a lot of therapy. Got a lot of time to think about things and plan, solve world problems, I guess. I like being in the barn. I'd rather be in the barn than sitting in the house any day. Or sitting at my desk working. I find too when I'm not feeling very good, like I've had a little bit of a cold, I thought was a cold coming on this week, and you know, when I start to feel like kind of my head getting stuffy and chest feeling heavy, I will come outside, and it seems like the more time I spend outside, then it goes away. And get, when I pull it back from the sides, then when I pull it back in, I'll get like all the little pieces that I missed. Then what I do now is I will grab my broom and my dustpan, and I will sweep up where the pea spots are, so that I get that out and it really dries. The one thing that I really don't like about doing all of this, I do not like the urine smell that horses make. It's ammonia smelling. It's very strong and gets in your clothes, and I hate it. This is the one thing I have to say that I do not like. And I will go in and change my clothes and put clean clothes on, because it just stays with you no matter what. So I always will change when I go in, because I do not like that smell. So I do try to sweep that up, and then I have some stall freshener that I'm going to go grab and put down, that we put on there. So it really helps to dry it. Also helps to kill that smell, because when my horses are in here, I don't want that. It's not good for their lungs either to have that smell all the time. So I'm going to go grab some freshener, and I'll be right back. Mats, and it can also go in the shavings as well, depending on the horse and how you do this. So some people will just pull it all to the middle. I've done pull it all to the middle, then we put, hi Palmer, we will put the fresh shavings around the back. But what I've tended to do is when the male horses come in and pee, they'll pee right in the middle. The female horses pee out back to the back. So I'll tend to put the older shavings for the male horses in the middle, and the older shavings in the back for the female horses, and then put the fresh around it. But for today, Millie has enough shavings in here that I really don't need to add more. So I'll just spread this out for her. Okay, so that looks good. What I do is I sweep as I am doing each stall. Just sweep the alley, get it cleaned up as I go, so I don't have to do one big sweep when I'm done. One thing that I hate more than the urine smell are rodents. Hate them, petrified of them. I do not have a heart when it comes to them. So I really like for the barn to be as clean as possible so we don't attract them. Then more reason to come and visit. Okay, So next we're going to do Spartan stall. And I just wanted to show you a little bit. His is a little different. His stall is what we call a, what do we call it? What do we call it? Oh my gosh, it just left my brain. That's what happens when you get older. Anyway, he has like a soft matted cushion stall. We had a boarder that wanted to put this in for their horse. So it's basically a really big cushion underneath his stall. It's one big mat. And if it wasn't so expensive, I would put this in all of my stalls because it's so much easier to clean and to maintain. You use a lot less shavings with it, and you just it's so easy to clean, which you'll see. But it's a great mat, stall. I recommend if you have horses who have a lot of arthritis, or they have a laminitic, or Cushing's disease or something. These are great. And if you can afford to put them in your stalls, then they're just going to save you so much money in the long run. So we'll get started on cleaning his. It's so much easier. I'll take out his hay nets and get those ready. So normally my horses stay out 24/7, which I believe is the best thing for them and for any horse. That's how they're made, is to stay outside. I'll have to show you the pasture setup that I've had. Millie has gained a little bit of extra weight and needs to be on a diet. And having my 4 horses together, we had a round bale. And so she would just not leave the round bale. She just decided to park there and then she would eat. So I had to separate her and Spartan into one area and Lily and Annie in another. And it's worked great, except I've been bringing them in at night and they've been staying in more because the shelter for Spartan and Millie is not as great. It doesn't give them a whole lot of shelter. So I have been, bringing them in, and my horses have been in more than what I really want. And the weather's been getting a little yucky at night and pretty cold, which is fine. They still can live outside. It's just that the shelter I have right now for the 4 of them is not. So normally this is all just very peas in the middle. You just take the wet stuff out. It also doesn't really have that urine smell. And then you just pile it in the middle and you're done. But he has obviously decided to lay down and spread the love around in his stall more than normal. You wouldn't know it, but I actually have cleaned out their stall before I go. Like I come out at night and they'll come in around 4:30. And so before I go in the house, I'll come out and pick out any poop they've made in their stalls before I go in the house. You wouldn't know, I actually pick some of this out beforehand because they still make such a mess. Very excited that my son and my daughter-in-law are here with us for Thanksgiving, and my son's going to put the turkey on the smoker grill, which I've never done before. So very excited to try that. I just take the broom, sweep up this little bit right here in the middle, and he's done. So nice. And then there's just the mat. You don't have to worry about any of the mats lifting like you'll see in a couple other stalls that I have. It's so nice. These are great. That Spartan ate most of his hay, and there's not really any quitting, which quitting is when they basically chew their hay. We got some dental problems going on, which you'll come out and they'll chew their hay, and they basically look like a little corn cob, and you'll find them all over the ground where it's just kind of like almost rolled in their mouth, and then they drop it out, and that happens when they start to have teeth problems. So he had just had his teeth done, but by a lady who does their teeth, that we don't use any sedation for them, but I think that there's something where she may not have been able to get far enough back in his mouth to really file down what needs to be done. Our vet's going to be coming out next week and get the drill in there and use some sedation for him so that he can get a really good drill down on his teeth, and that should solve that problem. But he'll be 22 next year, and you start to see some of that, but as far as I know, he doesn't have any teeth issues, so I think it's just a missed filing of his teeth somewhere, so that will get taken care of, and then we should see that go away. But I'm happy to see that he doesn't have it every day in here, so that's good. He's not having any serious problems, and it's fine that the vet's coming next week. It was something I thought needed attention sooner. We would get that taken care of. But so for Spartan, I just put all of his right here in the middle, and he doesn't really need that much shaving. So another benefit to these stalls. Water buckets already this year. It's been in the 40s during the day. It's been getting down to the low 30s and the 20s a lot. But when the horses come in, they really produce a lot of heat, body heat. So we haven't had to plug them in, but we have them set up so that they're ready to go when we need them, which I think next week we're going to need them. But it's not as fun when we have to empty the water buckets, because we have to pull the cord out from the wall and deal with the cord to empty them. It's not as easy when we just have a regular bucket. So we tend to let them go a day before we clean them out. If they look okay, we don't necessarily empty them every day. And I'm okay with that as long as it's not slimy and gross and has a lot of stuff in it. And my horses are pretty clean. The other thing is, where it's colder, now we don't have the issue of them getting as dirty as they do in the summertime. In the summertime, we empty them every day and leave them empty, the ones in their stall, and then they get fresh water when they come in. We got to do Annie and Lily's stalls, and they go against the rule of going in one spot, because they go in a spot, but then they move it all around, so it's everywhere. So their stalls are the ones that you have to go through the whole thing, because they make such a mess. They're the girls, the exceptions to the rules of mares, that they just spread it everywhere and make a mess.